Well, after the alleged plot to kill Pannun by an Indian national Nikhil Gupta surfaced, Prime Minister Modi for the very first time has responded on the issue. The Prime Minister said, if someone gives us any information, we would definitely look into it. And if a citizen of ours has done anything good or bad, we are ready to look into it. Our commitment is to the rule of law. However, he also pointed out to the strong ties with the United States and said that it was not appropriate to link a few incidents with diplomatic relations between the two countries. The Prime Minister also raised concerns about the rise in extremism on foreign soil and said that these elements, under the guise of freedom of expression, have engaged in intimidation and incited violence. He also emphasized on the security and counter-terrorism cooperation, which has been a key component of the India-US partnership. My colleague Rishabh joining us on the broadcast with the details of the response that has come in. Rishabh, this was a big charge that had been made by the United States against an Indian national. This is for the very first time that the Prime Minister is speaking about it. But talking about the seriousness of it, he said that we will look into it, but also underlining that the relationship between the two countries cannot be weighed down by a few incidents like this.
Well, definitely, India and US share a strategic partnership, and such instances, just one of instances, cannot literally derail the India-US relationship. In last one decade, we have seen that how India has not only been a partner of United States, but a strategic partnership has been developed. It ranges from space to sea. In the words of Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State of US, the India-US relationship is from the space to the seabed. This is what India-US relationship is. One such instance cannot derail the process. Apart from that, Prime Minister was very clear that if this has happened, we are looking into it. It is not our government's policy. This is what India has maintained. But Prime Minister didn't even mince his word when he says that there needs to be awareness about the anti-India activities in West. We have seen, be it in Canada, be it in US or in certain parts of Europe as well, anti-India activities are getting momentum in the garb of a freedom of expression and free speech. This is what Prime Minister said, that the freedom of speech or freedom of expression is being misused against India, and that is something which is very, very concerning. So Prime Minister, while saying that we are looking into the allegations made by the United States, Prime Minister is very clear that we are concerned about anti-India activities happening in West, be it in US or be it in Canada.
Absolutely. And this is a legitimate concern that has been raised by the Prime Minister because in these cases, India also has proof, and there has been a few incidents. There have been a few incidents, Rishabh, which have raised concerns for the Indian community, whether it is in the United States or whether it is in Canada as well. And those incidents were targeted towards a particular community.
Well, definitely. We have seen protests happening at Gurudwaras. We have seen protests happening at Hindu worship places. And as recently as last month, we have seen in Toronto that the Kali Badi was subjected to protest, or for that matter, in Vancouver as well, when the Indian consulate in Vancouver hosted the life certificate event. Few extremist volunteers reached there. These Khalistani supporters reached there and started shouting and raising anti-India slogans against the External Affairs Minister, the Home Minister, as well as the Prime Minister. And this all happens in the garb of freedom of expression. And this is something that the Prime Minister has raked up in his interview, where he says that it is concerning that in the garb of freedom of expression and free speech, anti-India sentiments are being given space. This is something that India has been very clear that we need to stop giving safe haven to anti-India activities, especially when it comes to Canada. We have seen that in the garb of freedom of expression and free speech, anti-India, activities have been given space, and it has gone unchecked by the administrators there.
Absolutely. Rishabh, stay with us. We have Colonel Arasan Singh also joining us on the broadcast with his expertise on the matter. How do you look at this statement that has come in from the Prime Minister, Colonel Singh? The Prime Minister has spoken about India being ready to cooperate on any probe, but has also spoken about the incidents of extremism that have come up in foreign soil targeted towards India.
Of any Prime Minister to secure the country from the destabilizing forces. And if those culprits are on the Indian soil, well, they will be taken care of. And if they are on foreign soil, yet they will be taken care of. This is the sacred duty of any prime minister or say any leader of the country. And if leaders are in cahoots with the destabilizing forces, they cannot be given this latitude in the name of freedom. And sometimes I tend to, I'm inclined to think that this kind of destabilization is only possible in a multi-party democracy. I'm not talking against democracy, but I'm just giving you some of the pitfalls of multi-party democracy. Because you can subvert a party and then you can thereby subvert the country. For example, I'm just asking you one example. The way Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi signed this MOU with China. Is it possible for any party in India to sign for any other political party in India, like the BJP or any other party, to sign an MOU with China? So what sort of, we don't have that luxury. So you cannot subvert the politics of China, but the Chinese are subverting it every day. The Pakistanis are subverting it every day. The Americans are subverting it every day. The Canadians try to subvert it. So should we pay the price for adopting multi-party democracy? Is it time to have a debate on this? How much of energy, madam, has been frittered away because of this multi-party democracy?
Yes.
Either because decision making is so poor in a multi-party democracy that in any venture, international venture, those with other forms of democracy steal a march over you.
Yes. Colonel Singh, I also want to draw your attention towards the statement that has come in from the Prime Minister. This is the first time that he has spoken about it, and he has spoken about the commitment of the rule of law. But very interestingly, there's also a marked difference between how India has responded to the United States vis-a-vis what its response was to Canada. In this case, the Prime Minister has pointed out that strong ties with the US it's not appropriate to link just a few incidents with the diplomatic relations that the two countries enjoy.
He's absolutely right. You cannot have a strong relation with any country, a one-sided relation. Earlier, what used to happen that it was totally one-sided because you were geopolitically, they were at the dispensing end and you were at the receiving end. There can only be a strong strategic partnership if there is give and take. So now that we have emerged geopolitically powerful because of various reasons, because of international circumstances, because of the economic heft. And economic heft, let me tell you, in 2007, the Chinese, economy was worth $3.6 billion, which is today now with you. And remember, the Chinese had started punching much beyond their weight. So remember, this is the strong and a powerful India that the Prime Minister.
Yes, a powerful India, and in the same breath, while speaking about the allegations against India, the Prime Minister has also spoken about the extremism that is given space in the foreign countries. Colonel